What up, peoples? Mr. Anomaly coming at you again. Hey, 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 hey. Another day with Mr. A. Happy A Day, y'all. I'm going to do a reaction to CGA on this one. Uh, I know I'm a few weeks behind the Andrew Wilson versus CGA debate. I had watched it. I thought it was pretty funny. Uh, and I agree. I got to agree with Coach on this one because you got a lot of guys out here trying to. You think they could control the woman? You think you can shame the woman into submission? The same these would be these Isaiah 4:1 type guys. These dudes, and I always be like, why do you want the woman to have nowhere else to go but to your ass? What you're seeing nowadays, the truth is being revealed. These women are free. They don't like being under the quote unquote patriarchy. Most of them were doing it to survive. You got guys out here, just did a video the other day. These dudes want to go back here to the 1950s, like there was some type of, like that was a period where women were more virtuous. Like I said before, I said again, if they were acting a fool back in the Bible, the ancient Bible days, there was never a period where there was just this high functioning of virtuous women running around, bro. That's fairy tale. I'm gonna do a reaction. This coach got some receipts. He got the receipts on there about the women in the 50s. And of course, they were miserable. I mean, TLDR, they don't like your ass. Most women don't like most dudes. All this does is confirm my talking points. Learn to love that man in the mirror. Most women are trying to survive. It is what it is. It's always been that way. Like I said, this is the way. This is the way of society. You want to sit there and try to bring this ecclesiastical marriage, thinking that's gonna save you, but you still can't. That still doesn't negate the imprint. That still doesn't negate women who want to give their 20s to Satan.
Was never giving my 20s to a man because I know the sacrifice that comes if you're an ambitious woman that wants a family. And I said, 20s, you can't have that. But 30s onwards, you can. Because by then, I know myself, met me, and you either accept me as I am or you hit the door.
What does giving your 20s to a man mean?
It means wrapping your whole identity around them before you truly are.
That's who you're trying to wife up after the fact? They made their decision. They bit forth the fruit. The Adam and Eve parable is, that's really, you can just drop the mic off that, man. It really is, man. Dudes trying to control women and man, let the phoenix run free, bro.
Frontal lobe is still developing. How sure can you be about yourself? And sometimes you have to ask yourself, am I here for security? Am I here because I'm scared? And sometimes that is the case.
Am I here for security? Am I here because I'm scared? No burning desire. There is no burning desire. How can she have burning desire when she's already had her bottom knocked out by her husband, the man who she's truly married to? That's what y'all gonna be getting like Andrew Wilson. What is he? What she got? 3 different baby daddies? There you go. There you go. Go ahead and do that. Now she ready. Now she ready for the ecclesiastical marriage, bro. Come on, man.
Protected or you like relationships. The notion of settling down, just settle down, I still felt like I had so much life to live and so much to see, and I didn't want anyone to tell me, where are you going? What do you mean, where am I going?
Hey man, it is what it is.
I can't stand these cowardly ass bitch ass men of the space in America. You guys are some foul, cross dressing ass bitch ass men today. For real. And I can't stand you men today. I can't stand you men today. You guys refused to boss up. You guys wanted to go with a nigga didn't hear about ecclesiastic marriages until yesterday, and y'all up here defending this shit. Really? You didn't even know what it was yesterday. And y'all niggas are looking it up and don't got no bitch to be seen to offer ecclesiastic marriages to. Nigga, if you don't get your life together, you don't got one woman you can offer an ecclesiastic marriage to, and then I got a simp ass nigga telling me how to beat child support system and have kids in America. Men are a goddamn parade of clowns at this point.
I can't disagree, man. Dudes want to argue this. Dudes want to argue. Like, come on, man. You got dudes out here want to argue 50-50 relationships. Why would you want to be in a 50-50 relationship? Get your shit together, bro. Dudes want to argue men who get laid with no job, not spending any money. You can do it. You can do it. Like, why? Way to aim high. Way to aim high, bro. Don't get some dudes.
You guys are a human parade of clowns. The existence of men today. You guys are fucking clowns. I give you the game every day. Y'all don't want to listen. You guys are fucking clowns, bro. Absolute pathetic excuse of men today. How do we beat the system? You got the system whooping your ass every day. Come out here and walk out here and get your ass handed to you. That's what the fuck you gonna do.
Dudes want a one-trick, easy solution button to make all this stuff work. How to beat the system, how to make a woman stay with you, how to make a woman stay in love with you forever and ever and ever. Not just one trick, one play you got to do, and it just works all the time. Don't work like that, man. Dudes out here in la la world. I said before, I'll say it again. This is my opinion. I truly believe most dudes, you either got the guys who want to be romantic ass, want to be in love ass ninjas, or you got dudes who want to get laid like Pookies and Chads, but don't want to boss up, don't want to get their shit together, don't want to work out, they just want it on a silver platter. And then you got a small percentage of men who are truly monk mode doing their own thing, man. That's just my 2 cents on just posting for so long, talking about not having sex. How dudes will project that, the double L's, the lust and loneliness. Yeah, I agree. Just my 2 cents.
Unbelievable, man. The system already stacked against you in a heavy way. So I gave you the alternatives, but your bitch ass can't afford a surrogacy because you a broke bitch ass nigga. And you're gonna tell me you don't have $100K for a surrogate? Well, you can't afford kids neither, you goofy ass nigga.
Yep.
If you can't afford a surrogate to have kids, why you bringing kids into the world, you broke ass nigga?
Makes sense to me. I don't get it. The mentality of people barely can take care of themselves, but want to have a family. I don't even compute. And y'all be wondering why P. Diddy superiors up here acting a fool, buying islands, and just having Sodom and Gomorrah acting a fool while too busy people up here at the bottom of the pyramid trying to sit up here, and they got the masses by the balls, bro.
Because kids cost, a wife cost, a family cost. How the fuck you gonna have kids when you can't afford even the surrogacy as an option, you dumbass nigga? What is wrong with these goddamn ignorant motherfuckers?
I like when he go in on dudes. It's funny to me.
Boss the fuck up. I can't stand this group of men out here. I can't stand these cowardly ass men. How the fuck you gonna have a family, nigga, you can't afford $100K?
Makes sense to me. And
well, I can't afford $100K, so I'm gonna have a love kid and get put on $200,000 of child support like a dumbass.
And looking crazy. Trying to focus on, that's what trips me out, like using a relationship as a shield against your own existence, not doing any type of internal cultivation, no self-awareness, but you're trying to date and have a family. I don't get normies, bro. I really don't, man.
Unbelievable. These EBT having ass kids. Fucking idiots, man. Today's men are a group of clowns, bro. I can't even defend you at this fucking point. Didn't want to talk about 1950s marriages. Like you were there, nigga. Your mama wasn't even there, you goofy ass nigga. The marriage was a great deal for men in the 50s. For women, not so much. Anybody can see that. And what men don't want is they don't want to deal with the modern woman. So they want to disarm her at all costs.
I agree with that.
But you can't do it. You can't fucking do it. Y'all trying to beat the system but not beat these women into place. Look.
Yep. I mean, you got guys up there, Isaiah 4:1, or 7 women to 1 man. That's not going to be most dudes. I said before, I'll say it again. There are still a nice chunk of women that will choose the desert over hooking up with men that they don't like. There are women out there, like I said, I'll take the desert. There are women out there that'll take the desert. Dudes out here thinking women gonna be broke, busting, and disgusting. Even so, like I said again, the Jezebel. How did Jezebel go out? 2 middle fingers. Knew her death was imminent. She didn't give a damn. You think you're gonna get that to submit?
Let's talk about this one in here and not beat them physically. But y'all can't beat them at their own game. Y'all can't walk away and make your own fucking life elsewhere. Exactly. Let's listen to this.
Everyone, when you talk about a traditional lifestyle, everyone wants to look at the 1950s, but it was not traditional in any way, shape, or form. It was based on extensive trauma from three decades of insanity, of people falling apart and then getting married at 15 and freaking out when it didn't work out well, and then exploding out of that and saying, I gave up my life to this person, and both of us from broken families didn't make it work. Sometimes love doesn't work out. Marriage is for idiots. Let's not bother. And that's where the sexual revolution comes, is women saying, why should I sacrifice everything for someone who will never love me?
Nothing new under the sun, guys. Nothing new under the sun. The sexual revolution came because they were trying to oppress women. What do you think's happening right now? It's all a freaking repeat, bro. Humans, man. Humans. Times change, people don't. Nothing new under the sun, bro.
Let me stop right here. This guy is saying, and I said this yesterday, the response from the 1950 marriage was feminism.
There's your burning desire. There's your burning desire. Most women don't like most men. They just surviving out here, bro. So dudes out here, man. Again, like I said, what type of society we live in? It's like the whole sexual, having whole phases of stuff, man. Dudes get mad. These women sleep with who they want to, and the men that they want to sleep with, they don't got to do anything. They sleep with who they want to. If they got you ice skating uphill, being a court jester to have at bats with them, you're getting played, man. It is what it is. You can't fake attraction. It should be liberating. That's why I get up here to be talking shit. So I don't give a damn what they say about me. I don't care what nobody got to say. We've already established most dudes mold themselves to a woman's opinion anyway, and I don't really give a damn what bras got to say. Like I said, the only time a woman's words matter is she's Emmett Tilling your ass, saying you touched the kids or you try to R-word her, and it's a lie. And you got these freaking simp, the court of public opinion, who will believe everything she says, and you're already damned. That's the only time a woman's words matter. Outside of that,
I said that yesterday. I said the divorce rate went sky fucking high the minute those women could get out of those marriages.
nothing's changed.
And I'll prove it right here. Because, y'all want to use ChatGPT for every goddamn thing. But the so-called most idyllic period of marriage where y'all think y'all had women in a chokehold, the minute the law changed, them women went running the fuck out of their marriages. They got out of there because they got tired of y'all beating on them and cheating on them and having the leverage. They said, we want to get up out of there. Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Now, another thing that happened that he talked about, which is another truth bomb, which I didn't address, but I kind of insinuated it, is that the reason why people jumped into marriages, it was post-World War II.
Yep.
A lot of these men were overseas. They were coming back in with their young bride ready to fuck, procreate, and marry. So they got married younger. Women were living supplementally, income-wise. They didn't have education in all of these jobs in government. That is something they latched on to later. That was something offered to them later, to leave the marriages and have their own independence, which we're seeing now is at an all-time high. They don't even want to be in a marriage anymore. Yep. So the reason why we had this 1950s baby boom and revolution was because it was a response from World War II. It was a blip. It was a glitch.
Hell, just did that video a while back ago about the Nazi Germany, what they found out, the master race can't even tame the Jezebel. These women, they were soldiers going to war to die, they hooking up hypergamy. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. Told you, man, all roads lead to black pill, man. It's all pointing towards that man in the mirror. That is your solution.
In the system. It was a glitch, and some of these people couldn't have sex before they were married. They couldn't shack up and just live together and have sex and have babies out of marriage. So they had to get married like that. They knew each other 6 weeks. They were back off the ship. Let's get married. Boom. You're 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's get married. Pump out the babies. The baby boom. 1940s. Okay? My grandmother during that time. She had my mom at 16. This was common, and they were married. My grandfather at that time was in the military. This is what people do. This is what military people do today. They get in the military. They get they're 18 years old. They get one of these Barry bunnies from these trailer park trash communities that target these men. They get married and they want to move off the base. They fuck, have kids, and they go off and get shipped off. And then she fucks Jody, and then they get a divorce. I mean, they wasn't ready. So it was a glitch. It wasn't the norm, as people say, and it certainly wasn't the norm the minute the laws changed for them bitches to skedaddle and divorce the shit out of you, ecclesiastic, abusive ass, religious right men. All right, soon as them bitches got the chance to get the fuck up out of there, they got out of there, of the marriages. So again, 1950s or 40s was not the idyllic time in America. It was a glitch in the system.
I like this, man, because a lot of people want this is the go-to. Oh, back in the 40s and 50s. Oh, yeah, the women were, man, please, they're banging the milkman, mailman. Nothing's changed, man. Nothing's changed. The Jezebel spirit is ancient. Sin is ancient, man. We just in a freaking loop. Time is a flat circle. How many times have we been here? I keep saying that. How many times have we been? How many times have we looped? How many times?
All right, it was a glitch. It was a blip. It was a reaction. It was a trauma response to what was going on the decade or two before. It was not what people set up. Not only that, I've been broken this down for years. Women were typically that did this were white women. Black women were cleaning the white man's house.
Damn.
And having white kids suck on their titty like they did on the plantation. And possibly the white man fucking her at the diner. Look up Claudette Colvin, who was going to be Rosa Parks until they found out Claudette Colvin was getting fucked by a married white pastor and impregnated by her.
Damn.
When she was 15 or 16.
Nothing new.
Okay? So this ideal of we need to go back to the 50s is absolute garbage.
I agree.
Of it being ideal, and you guys want to drag women back there, and they're kicking and screaming to this fucking day. They ain't going back to the 50s.
They already made their choice. And dudes want to double down and argue and debate and all this, man. They've already made their decision, man. When she bit that fruit, she already made her decision. And dudes want to sit there and lock them down and force them, man.
Not going back, bro.
And I have to be alone in a home to the point that we have mother's helper, where that comes along, you take it, and you just zone out for the rest of the day. That's where psych meds, and in some ways, many of them started. It was just to dose women up during the day because they couldn't handle being fully alone.
Well, that's the Betty Friedan, right? Feminine mystique. Like, what is this strange thing that's hitting suburban women? They're so unhappy. Well, the problem is children. The problem is marriage. It's like maybe it's actually you're alone by yourself all day in a.
All right, so one of the responses from the 1950 housewives, and this has been seen in television shows and movies, which you guys get as an idyllic time, and it was a great time for men, not so great for women, is that a lot of women were doped up during that time. They were doped up, especially suburban white women that were highly likely to be this idyllic white, traditional wife. Okay, not so much the Asian women, because Asian women were working in the goddamn grocery stores that they owned. Black women were working as the help, all right, outside of the house. This is the origination of blues. But a lot of these women, to cope with being a stay-at-home mom, which you even see stay-at-home moms dealing with today, they're dealing with drugs. They had to be drugged up.
The numbers don't lie, man. The numbers don't lie. Especially nowadays, what is it, 1 out of 4 women are on psych meds? Out here getting all the sausages, getting all the emotional damage, then hook up with some dude that she don't want to be with, making his life a living hell, making the kids' life a living hell. Again, the brand of Babylon, men don't know who the hell they are, basing the self-worth on a woman. Nothing's changed, man. This is funny how we just in a freaking repeat. Women got to get lit out here because they tired of being at home, because they with the man that they don't want to be with. Just surviving. Just surviving. And I said before, I'll say it again, there's an energy there. If that woman genuinely does not want to be there, if she don't really like you, you can't fake that. What that tells me, dudes out here just thirsty. They thirsty, they don't know how to read the room, they don't know how to read the subtle realm. With women that don't even like them. As soon as you go up there and say hello, she didn't want nothing to do with your ass. You were just a target. But dudes don't see it. I just don't get it, man. I'd rather be by my damn self than be with somebody who don't want to be there. That's just me.
They had to be doped up and wind up. That was a response from the so-called idyllic 1950s marriage, until the point where this bitch couldn't do nothing but lay down and catch the vapors, and they had to go get the doctor to come over there and give him a what do you call it? Dr. Feelgood needed to come over. These women became alcoholics. Okay, and then most of the time these women end up crazy. Okay, especially the white woman ended up crazy, and some of these men admitted these women into mental institutions and gave them lobotomies. All right, because this bitch crazy, let me go trade her in for a young model. She 40 and crazy, doped up, alcoholic. Yep, give her that Dr. Feelgood.
And what was that? I mean, like a lot of these older women be telling these young women, don't get married. Don't get married. Go out there and live your life. Don't give your life to a man. Go out there and have fun. That's what the women who were going through that be telling the younger ones. They be telling them not to get locked down.
And he would come over and put his finger up her pussy and play with her clit and give her an orgasm. That used to happen. Now, that was way prior to the 50s, but that used to have that. All right, so these were responses from women in the 50s until they could escape the motherfucking plantation and get up out of there and divorce the fuck out of you goddamn traditional men. It was not the ideal. All right, let me just go ahead and show you this. Is y'all like ChatGPT? So men that keep dragging y'all back there, you wonder why the women don't want to go back there. In the 50s, common marriage issues included lack of feminine autonomy due to social pressures to conform to the suburban housewife role. You see this today.
Social pressure.
You see this today. Women try to fit into the housewife role and they go crazy. All right, they feel like they're a failure. They want to get paid for it. They feel like they're doing most of the emotional labor, the physical labor. You're not helping around the house. We're seeing that today.
Yep. You need to chip in. It's work. Then, like I said, financial abuse. If you go out there and pay the bills, you're financially abusing her. She doesn't have a say. Well, we've already established why all this is.
And what you do? Your woman is mad at you. If you work all the time, like you work all the time, you ain't never home, you always leaving me. I hate this shit. If you home all the time, why you all up under me? Let me get some fucking room to breathe. Damn, stop sweating me. I hate this shit. If you make more money than her, well, fuck you. I want to make decisions too. You ain't my fucking daddy. I don't need you to take care of me. I hate this shit. If she makes more money than you broke motherfucker. You never have no fucking money. Fuck this shit. I don't want to make all these decisions. I need to be taken care of. I hate this shit. I can't take it. And the number one reason your woman's always mad, fellas, the number one reason your woman is pissed the fuck off, because you ain't her first choice.
I mean, what are we arguing here, bro? What are we arguing, man? Dudes are just with women who don't want to be there. It's very easy. This isn't complex. Dudes got egos. Dudes have egos. That woman don't want to be there. If she wanted to be there, there would be peace. They don't want to be there, man. You're not her first choice. And in the 50s, social pressure. Why would you want a woman to be pressured to get involved with you? I don't get some dudes, man. I really don't. I really don't.
Women that do that, you see them jump on the internet and say we should make $200,000 a year for doing this. I clean this, and if we had a chef for that, and a driver for this, and a cleaner for that. This is happening today.
Yep.
Because they're enforced to do it. They're forced to do it. They're forced to fit into this ideology, and it's difficult for them. All right? It is not perfect. You're not going to be the perfect mom and make biscuits and muffins and have a clean house and have good, orderly kids. All right? She's eventually going to fucking snap. Trust me, I had a wife that tried to be that, and she put so much pressure on herself that it was difficult for her to be happy.
Trying to fit a facade, trying to fit this cookie cutter bill that don't even exist, and she went crazy trying to be something that's freaking marketing. People don't even know who the hell they are. They're trying to be what they see on TV and magazines. But I tell you, man, the programming begets programming. Bro, I tell you, the brand of Babylon is real. Too many simps, Potiphars, and Ahabs in power. The sorcery of program, music, television. This stuff's real, man. It is real out here. This is a spiritual war, bro.
All right. So they're not going to be happy in this situation. They're going to then start hitting the drugs. Or what do? They want to go to girls' nights out. They got to let their hair down. All right, I want to go to girls' nights out. I got to be outside. I got to social. So you'll see them run back to that as a way to cope with the idea of them being cooped up in the house all day where you think they're doing nothing and you come home, honey, I'm home.
This stuff is really easy. Dudes want to overcomplicate this, man. Girls' night out, all that stuff, man. She don't want to be locked up. She with a dude she don't want to be with. She thought the marriage and the kid was gonna fill that empty void, and it doesn't. And it is what it is, man. Man, I tell you, man, nothing new under the sun.
Or you see them return back to work. I want to feel like I'm contributing. I need a career. This is a response. Women typically didn't like the scenario they were in. This is why when Mary Tyler Moore came out and the idea of women working came out, them bitches ran to them jobs. I'm out. I'm not staying cooped up in this house. What other issues? Communication problems stemming from a patriarchal structure. This is definitely feminist oriented. And the suppression of personal unhappiness to avoid divorce. Okay? So divorce was considered shameful during this time, and infidelity was often hidden. So people were still fucking and cheating. This is where you get the milkman and the UPS delivery man and the mailman. And this has existed in the so-called ideal 1950s. The milkman.
And this is before social media. Now they got these smartphones. What's that stat? The stat they say? At least the average married woman nowadays at least got 4 or 5 orbiters. At least 4 to 5 orbiters. Always. And this is in the 50s they was doing that. They're going to find a way. All I'm trying to say is learn to love that man in the mirror. Kill that romantic stereotype bullcrap, this unhappily ever after Romeo Juliet bullcrap. If you're going to take a chance, more than likely it's not going to last long term because you're more likely going to be getting a woman who's already gave her bottom away to another man. And even if you get them young, done numerous articles on that, they be wanting to hit the streets. You get them when they're 18, 19, she want to hit the streets by the time she's pushing 30 in most scenarios. The only truth, the only way to win is monk mode. Hey man, it is what it is, bro.
So you're telling me it was perfect, but one of these kids is the milkman's baby? The mailman's baby because he always delivers? This is the idyllic 50s. Today it's the plumber, the pool boy, the personal trainer, the massage therapist.
The Taekwondo instructor.
This is typical of the traditional household. And while you're away at work, trust me, you ain't got time to ecclesiastic marriage and watch your wife.
If you going out there getting it, if you going out there busting your ass, you're not going to be around. You're not going to be around. Pick your poison. Unless you're going to be in one of these little 50-50 relationships, and you know you damn well with the woman that if she marry your ass in that 50-50, she's surviving. You're just there. So you're really going to be dealing with some bullshit. But if you go out there busting your ass, you're not going to be around. Monk mode absolute, bro. Monk mode absolute.
The pastor at the church. So infidelity still was what? Hidden. Divorce, shame. Shame on you, you divorced. So they enforced it by shame, which was used against me. Even though it existed, it says right here, and domestic issues like physical and emotional abuse were prevalent and often ignored. So again, you're going to force her to stay in a marriage, social pressure to make her fuck. In 2025, how long is you going to do this?
Yep, that ecclesiastical shit ain't going to work this day and age. You hear all that, forcing her to be there when she don't want to be there. Drug use, domestic violence, which was ignored. All because she don't want to be there. All because you weren't her first choice. You can't fake the imprint, man. You cannot fake the imprint. Y'all hear nobody talking about that. Andrew Wilson, none of them. That woman don't want to be there. You can't make her be there. You can't shame her. Why would I keep saying that? Why would you want to do that? Why do you want this Isaiah 4:1? She ain't got no place to go but your monkey ass. And there are dudes out there salivating at the lips. There are dudes out there that wait till they get ran into the mud. Oh, I'll take her. There's always gonna be a dude. If she's remotely attractive, there's always gonna be a guy that'll take her. There'll always be a guy.
Before she runs. You cannot socially pressure women to fuck their man. Any man. Any man. There's a porn star right now, Lana Rhodes, that's trying to get Oliver Prawn eliminated because she said I was forced to have sex with older men and men that were too big, and I was groomed and graped. This is a woman that volunteered to do it. And now she's saying, in retrospect, yeah, I don't really want to fuck these guys, but they socially pressured. They gave me an incentive to do it, but I didn't want to do it. So your wife is certainly not going to want to be enforced by social pressure to fuck. All right, and anybody wants to know where I got that from, I'm going to play this clip right here just so you can see. This is pie in the sky bullshit. Gentlemen, this does not exist. Don't think y'all about to do this. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. Okay. Roll the clip. Oh, this is not the clip.
Never heard of make-believe.
This ain't. Here we go. Let's show you this. Where's it at? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Where we had the instinct to have sex with the husband. Your wife is going to have sex with you because church reverend enforced her to have sex with you.
Do you think?
Okay, please pull up the chat.
Yeah,
His suggestion is to have a church reverend enforce you
They're
to
not
have burning
enforcing it.
desire to have sex with your
Enforce
husband.
requires force. Enforce is derivative of force. You can't enforce absent force. No one's saying force.
This is how your sex is going to be had in his marriage. It's through enforcement through the religious pulpit.
No, it's
I
going to
mean,
be
this
the
is
idea.
2025,
if it's
and
the
we're still here
idea-
somewhere on Little House on the
Yeah.
Prairie. All right, and as you can see, am I ranting and raving? Am I yelling? Yeah, I'm cutting them off because I ain't letting them get that bullshit off. But I'm not yelling. I'm not losing my cool. I'm not triggered. I'm not emotional. I'm just using what he said back to me. That's what he said. Oh, he won, huh? Oh, we're gonna use social pressure and enforcement. We're gonna direct these bitches to fuck their husband from the pulpit. He said that. There were so many ridiculous things he said.
I get it. I mean, he's trying something, but you can't make that woman like you, bro. You gonna shame her into submission? You gonna shame these women to act right? Don't work like that, bro. It is what it is, man. Come on, social pressure. Do you really think you're gonna get that passionate Ted Bundy sex when you gotta force your woman? you gotta force your woman to go there. Where my girl at? It's been a while.
That because God took away my desire for promiscuity and all that stuff, that I didn't have a desire anymore, even like for my husband. And although my husband and I would have sex, it was like really hard for me. Like I really had to push myself to go there.
Why? Why would you want to be involved with a woman who got a okay, here we go. Here we go. I gotta push. I don't get dudes, man. I do not get men. I don't get dudes, man. I rarely get on Facebook. I got on there a little while back ago, and I searched on a dude I used to work with. He's a funny dude, man. He's a white dude, man. Kind of remind me of Viking. Had this thick beard, but weird guy. He's married, and I saw the picture on his Facebook profile of him and his old lady, and the picture of their marriage, it was so sad. He was trying to go in to kiss her, and she was like you could tell in the body language where she was like, how do you not see that, bro? This is what I'm talking about, no self-awareness, a lot of people, man. How do you not see that woman? She was like, that's your wife, bro. You go in for the kiss, and she like, You gotta sense that, man. Dudes out here lost, man. You can't make these women do nothing, man. You can't fake attraction, bro. It should be liberating. It should make you more comfortable in your own skin, man. I don't get some dudes, man. It is what it is, man.
And he was the one frustrated. I wasn't frustrated. I repeated back what he said. Force is a derivative of force. Bro, I don't care what you're saying, bro. You said that the pulpit and social pressure is going to make your wife fuck you. Guys, is this how you want sex from your wife?
Nope.
That's all I said.
Nope. I'll take the desert. I'll take the desert.
That's all I said. But who was losing their cool? Who was emotional? Wasn't me. All right, this is my clip. Your wife is going to have sex with you because church reverend enforced her to have sex with you.
Do you think?
Okay, please pull up the chat. His suggestion is to have a church reverend enforce you
They're
to
not
have burning
enforcing it.
desire. All right, so now he started using force and force. All right, yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. Right? You said that though. I'm just repeating back to what you said. So this is not going to work in 2025, Jim.
I agree.
These ideas is not going to work in 2025. And let's just tell you from the ladies' perspective, which I find it appalling, that two men were up here arguing these ideas about marriage and not one woman was considered on if she would do what I would suggest or him, which is mightily important if you want to get married. There were no women in here that we could say, I could take a second and say, hey, ma'am, would you want to be enforced by social pressure to fuck your husband? Okay, ma'am, would you take in 2025 an ecclesiastic marriage in which you're not married to the state and you get no benefits when I drop you? No woman was there, because if one woman was there, she would have called bullshit on everything he said.
Especially with a man who she don't really want to be with. Where's that? Where my girl at? Is this one it?
Need to be with Mr. Right Now. Doesn't give me, but need to be with Mr. Right Now. Doesn't give me butterflies, but he's a good man. He's nice. He likes me. Don't have much in common, but he calls, so I talk to him.
That guy's gonna do it. That guy's gonna, or this guy.
In college, the girls who would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Nope, they're all getting ran through by this guy.
Or sometimes you've got the one that gives you butterflies, but he's unreliable and not dependable. He's broke. You got to take him out to dinner. We've all done that. Those are never sustaining long-term relationships. Those are never take him out to dinner. We've all done that. Take him out to dinner. We've all done that. Out to dinner. We've all done that.
That's who you're gonna wife up after the fact? This woman's in her 60s too. Talking about she ain't want to settle. That's who you gonna put in an ecclesiastic marriage, huh? And put the social pressure and try to put the lock on it.
That's the point I'm making. She would have called bullshit on everything he was saying. And half of what I was saying. Because no woman is going for that in 2025. Only some white woman that's a stepmom with 2 baby daddies. Maybe a woman that is at her wit's end with no other options than your goofy ass.
And that's you.
Maybe you. Maybe a woman that got 2 baby daddies and 3 kids.
Or the soul ties of Ted Bundy. Already had her bottom knocked out, bound to another man. Used and abused, emotionally scarred because he wouldn't commit. Now she's just looking for anybody who's just going to be there for her. And dudes will take that deal, be making MGTOW videos, procreating with these women, popping out kids under that same spiritual, that mark, passing it on to their children.
She'll go for it, but not no ecclesiastic virgin. She gotta go for that shit. And how long they been married? 3, 4, 5 years? Shit.
And that's you.
Brothers, social pressure. Let's show you 1950s idyllic marriage that the men want to go back to. Social pressures and conformity. Pressure to marry. High marriage and birth rates created immense social pressure, meaning it seemed like social self-deletion for single women. We do not have that today. We don't have this idea where women, men still hold this idea. You're going to be a spinster, a cat lady. I think women are pretty much accepted their fate.
I agree with that.
That they're like, yeah, that's cool. We can stay single.
Yep.
There's no social pressure.
I see dudes in this space, man. Like, again, that's why I say I don't even. You can tell dudes, like I said, if you watching guys who waste time. I like to call it Jerry Springer or Maury Povich watching men roast 304s, like on the whatever podcast or Fresh or Fit, roasting worldly women just to because they I guess that's right. That she'll learn her lesson. That'll show her. These women are going to be assed out and destitute, and they're going to die. They're going to be by themselves. They're going to be cat ladies. I think a lot of women would still choose that. I think a lot of women would choose a cat lady over being with a Poindexter who they don't want to be with. Dudes up here, hey man, don't get that shit twisted, man. That's why I said, man, dudes up here wanting to get revenge and shit, man. Don't be focusing on that, man. Better focus on getting your shit together, bro. But it is what it is, man.
Pressure to get married, especially between the ages of 20 and 28 or 20 and 32, where you would want it. Especially then consider where men will want marriage. Probably between, according to the data, between 20 and 28. But women are getting married 28 to 32.
Never give your 20s to a man.
I was never giving my 20s to a man because I know the sacrifice that comes if you're an ambitious woman that wants a family. And I said, 20s, you can't have that.
That's the mentality. That's the truth. That's what they choose when given a choice. That's what they choose when given a choice. But dudes want the economy to be so shitty that they ain't got no choice. Man.
Okay, limited options. Women were often left with few choices beyond marriage and motherhood, leading to unhappiness and depression for many. We still got this today. But they believe they have more options. Idealized image. The happy suburban wife was often an idealized and unrealistic image that hid the difficulties of many marriages. Now, do not blame me for using AI on this one, because y'all were ready to use AI all day during the so-called debate yesterday.
Yeah, people using AI said AI, he lost the debate. But yeah, man, you know, again, you can't make them unrealistic expectations. I've been saying that for the longest time. Too much television, too much movies. We're all brought up under that, man, and we think that this shit's real. Like I said, the Cosby Family and all that, and that shit ain't real, man. People basing the freaking relationships off what they see on television. People don't know who the hell they are, but they receive it on the external. Oh, this is how I'm supposed to act. Oh, this is how I'm supposed to get the woman. I'm supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to. There's no wonder why people are freaking programs. Easily acceptable for witchcraft. That's just how I see it. This is how I see it. You know, again, I like to think. I think of things beyond myself, man. I know it's bigger than me. I'm just a drop of water in the ocean.
All right, but this is true. And if you've ever had a stay-at-home wife, yes, it's unrealistic. It's not real for the majority of women. Okay, you got a patriarchal structure, communication breakdown, unrealistic expectations. The expectations was for the wife to be subservient to their husband, and they were blamed for marital problems, and even if the husband was unfaithful or abusive.
Yep. And that's one thing, the feminists, that's really what they go to, barefoot and pregnant. You're going to leave us barefoot and pregnant while you go out there and you're just going to leave me destitute. That's the core of what a lot of these women believe. Because again, where did they hear that from? Their grandmas, their aunties. The older women was telling them, hey, don't do that. You don't want to be like me, barefoot and pregnant. Don't let that man. That's the true nature, bro. Dudes out here romantic.
Ecclesiastic marriage, all right? The one man's gonna say, I can beat you and whoop you and keep you away from this and force you to fuck, all right? And it's your fault if you don't back. Suppression of issues, stigma of divorce. We don't have a stigma of divorce. We had a stigma of divorce in the 50s. We don't have a stigma of divorce today. Is there a stigma on divorce? Not really. You can graduate from a divorce.
Yep. What my girl say? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at?
Why are women filing for divorce so much more than men now?
Women now have more resources, more education than ever. So they can go to school, they can get a job, they can earn as much as men, and this means that they are more entitled to be independent and on their own if they're not happy in their marriage. Secondly, there is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage. If they don't like their partner, sayonara.
That's the truth. When they got options, they don't like most dudes.
The stigma is gone. Whereas the women were like, damn, I'll be ruined and I'm ruining the family. I better stay for the kids and make it work. Hiding problems, infidelity, domestic violence, and other marital issues were often hidden from public view, leading to a perception that all marriages were happy when many were not. When many were not. You can judge this by the direct correlation. You can judge it. You can just take a line and go, this idyllic 50s led to the divorce rate in the 70s going skyrocketing with one change, no fault divorce. And he said, no fault divorce was in the 70s? Bro, I wrote a book on this. Yes, no fault divorce. Ronald Reagan, governor of California. He was the first state for no fault divorce. He signed it. He got the actions going. Now, the majority of states today have no fault divorce. Soon as that happened, the so-called happy wives started divorcing left and right. Now, you can blame feminism for this. Cool. I got a book called that, Feminism, The Evolution. Fine. But what are you going to do?
There's your burning desire. Most of them, on large scale, got the hell up out of there.
That's what you have. So there wasn't no idealism. Them bitches was not happy, right? They want to be outside fucking and open up bank accounts and driving cars. And they needed to get rid of you. Let me show you this. Okay? Let me see here. Let's see here. See if I can pull this up. Check this out. This is supposedly a man outside of a courtroom in the idyllic 1948. Okay? Idealism. This is why idealism is not healthy. This is allegedly a man outside of a divorce courtroom.
Damn, a boy on his knees.
Begging his motherfucking wife from divorcing his bitch ass. Take a look.
Damn.
1948. Look at him. Take a good look. Okay?
Burning desire. Burning desire.
Don't do it, baby. And she looking at him. Why? Because in 1948, she had to have evidence to go up there and hang this nigga. Hanging. But where's idealism? Where's the happy housewife and all of this shit? Well, he done cheated on her and beat on her and disrespected her and called her all kind of names, and bitch don't got no education. He didn't let her drive. He took the car like Stephen what's his name? Not Stephen Colbert. The other track con. Steven Crowder, where he would had a traditional wife, and Steven Crowder had a traditional wife in one car. He would take the car and she couldn't drive. There wasn't no car at the house. What happened? She divorced his ass too in 2024. All right? He would leave her at the house. She couldn't drive, open a bank account. He would give her $2 and say, make that last for the fucking week.
Some dudes are assholes, man. Some dudes are assholes. A lot of guys want to have that kind of control, man. Me, like I said again, man, I ain't trying to force. That's just me. I ain't trying to force you to do nothing. I ain't trying to make you do nothing you don't want to do. But some dudes want to have them up under their thumb and be Mr. Oof. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I just wanted to do a reaction to that, man. Shout out to Coach, man. Again, the 50s. A lot of guys use the 50s as there was just some type of golden age where women were just magically chaste and they just fought again. Television. Dudes are seeing what they see in magazines and TV, bro. The witchcraft is strong. The romance, stuff that don't even exist. People are believing this stuff, man. The programming is strong, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. The 50s ain't coming back, bro. It is what it is, man. Most women don't like most dudes, man. Nothing's changed. She either will or she won't. You know, basing your self-worth, trying to be the ice skate uphill, trying to be the square peg in the round hole to win them over, got you on your knees begging her not to divorce your ass, man. Hey, man, milk's been spilled, the die has been cast. All you can do is move accordingly. I am out, good peoples. Laters.